Good morning. So I thought I would show you how to make homemade sweetened condensed milk. So how much I make is going to fill 1 quart jar. To that, we're going to put some ingredients together. It's actually very simple. You're going to use some powdered milk, and you're going to use sugar and water, and I use a blender. You can use any powdered milk that you want. I personally use the full fat, but you can use whichever you'd like. So for this, I like to personally layer this. So what we're going to do, I'll set this here so you can see. We're going to use, it's 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of your powdered milk. So I do 1 cup of sugar. Now this is a 1/2 cup measure, so I'm going to do 4 of my powdered milk. 2, 3, and 4. And then your 2nd cup of sugar. Why do I do it this way? I have found that if you layer it with the sugar on the bottom and the sugar on the top, that your powdered milk doesn't fling all over inside of this and end up on your lid, rather than down where you actually need it. And then you're going to use boiling hot water. It has to be boiling hot for this to blend properly, less clumps, less lumps, and you get a nice smooth sweetened condensed milk. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our lid on. Do not close that. We're going to take our 1 cup of very hot boiling water. It's boiling. I used, doesn't matter. Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to turn your blender on. You're going to put it on low. So I apologize for the sound that's coming up, but blenders are loud. So we're going to put this on low, and you're going to slowly drizzle this water in until it's all the way in there. We're going to let this go for about 4.5 minutes, and I'll bring you back. So at the end of 4.5 minutes, I turned it off or paused for the reasons of I didn't want you to have to hear the sounds of the blender. But once I have it going, I do turn mine up to the number 3, and I maintain that until I reach on my timer here that's on the blender for 4 minutes 30 seconds, and then I drop it down to 2 for another 10 seconds, and then 1 for 10 seconds, and then off. And then this is what you have. A beautiful homemade sweetened condensed milk. So what you'll do, take your jar, and you're going to just pour this in there. I apologize if you can't see. I'll hold it up when it's done. Now, if you're using full fat milk like I do, I prefer the flavor of the full fat milk. Excuse me while I scrape this out because I don't like to waste anything. So what you'll do, because this is hot, the fat will rise to the top. Now from there, it's up to you. You can keep the fat or you can skim that off. I use this in everything that I do. I dot my jars for a reason. We'll get into that later. Anyway, I use this for creamer a lot, coffee creamer. You can use this in any recipe. I will use this when I make my caramel and a lot of other things. Anyway, you can use this just like you would the things that you buy at the store. What I do, because this is hot, is I have some rubber bands that I've bought just for this. They've never been in my hair. I put my coffee filter on top. I use my rubber band to hold that in place, and I will set this aside until it reaches room temperature. This way I don't build up extra condensation, so no extra water or moisture is added to my sweetened condensed. And there you go. After a couple hours, this will go in the refrigerator with a lid. Use it as you want. I believe that a can from the store is 1 1/4 cup. So when you do this right, you end up with 2 cans, from the store to your 1 jar. Because of that fat line, this will actually reduce down, and you'll see. But you can always measure that out yourself so that you make sure if your recipe only calls for a cup, pull out a cup. There you go. This will save you some money. You can do the math yourself. But because powdered milk and sugar have so many other uses in your home, it's pennies as long as you're using this for other things. If you're not, then don't make it. Anyway, I hope this helped, and have a great day.